This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 19th of July 2020 and alright, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Okay, so it is not out yet. No, so Microsoft's long-awaited return to the flight simulation franchise with their reboot of Microsoft Flight Simulator. The pricing and release date has been confirmed this week. So again, I'm making an exception to my normal rule here. Normally, I don't cover this. I only talk about something when it's actually released, but right now you can actually exchange money for it, so that's how I'm saying it. Alright, so the release date is scheduled for August 18th, so in less than a month from now actually, which is kind of scary. It will be released to the public. It is going to be available in 3 different editions. So the starting edition is $60, and then there are 2 additional tiers. Then you've got the deluxe version coming in at $90 and then the premium deluxe version coming in at $120. Now, what is the difference between the editions? Okay, so all of the editions have the full world at launch, full 4K support, and quite a number of aircraft available to them. I believe it's 20 aircraft available, with each tier then adding in an additional 5 aircraft. Now, the aircraft ranges come everything from light sport aircraft through to GA aircraft, single GA twin aircraft, all the way up to the Grand Lady of the Skies, the 747-8i Intercontinental Edition. It's gone through, as I said, I'm not going to cover a lot of this stuff off because it's been done to death by people who are simply regurgitating what Microsoft's already said. But look for an episode of the 3 Grumpy Simmers coming very, very shortly where we'll go through and analyze and discuss how we feel about it. Probably the big interesting takeaway though is that they're covering over 2 million cities, over 1.5 billion buildings are covered here. 30-something thousand airports. What they're saying is they're delivering a series of enhanced airports. Now, the enhanced airport number, again, changes based on which edition that you buy. And with each additional level that you go up, you get an additional 5 highly detailed airports. For those who are interested in your tube liners, essentially you get the 2 airliners as part of the basic edition. The next one that you get is in the premium deluxe tier, where you get the 787-10 included as well. But other than that, we are still waiting for a release date. Don't worry folks, it will be covered in detail, great detail here on the channel. I intend to be doing a launch live stream over on my Twitch channel, so head over to twitch.tv/NovaWing24 and give us a follow to be notified when I go live with that one. Alright, as I said, now if you wanted to pick this one up, this is available now for pre-order. Now, I do want to highlight something though with this pre-order. Normally when content goes on pre-order on the Microsoft store, or to be honest, actually any store really, is that normally you would get either some discounted pricing or some form of bonus, whether it be a skin pack or an extra DLC or hell, even some like a forum badge. You get something to show that you pre-ordered. This does not appear to be the case with Microsoft. It's very interesting that, which is, I don't know whether it's a good thing or not. I don't know whether it's a good thing or not that they're not doing a pre-order bonus. So yeah, it was just something interesting that I noted that very much broke with tradition of the Xbox tradition anyway. So, which possibly means it's a good thing that they are breaking with Xbox traditions and sticking with us, everything that we want to have out of a flight sim for us, the simulator pilots. As I said, this one is available currently from the Microsoft Store, or you can purchase a physical box edition from Aerosoft at aerosoft.com, available now. Alright, moving on with the releases for this week, starting with the X-Plane 11 World. The guys over at V-Sky Labs have been busy, and they've come out with their latest in their test pilot series, the release of the FA Tensor 600X project. So this is a interesting little one. So this is I honestly didn't think that this thing was real. I thought this was like a made up airplane. Apparently not. It's actually real. It actually went for its maiden flight this year, which is kind of cool. So this is an autogyro, which is a branch of aviation that was very popular during the 1920s and during the 1920s and 1930s, but lost its glamour, as it were, with the Second World War, and then with the advent of helicopters, they sort of stopped being a thing. So it's interesting to see that in the last few years, though, they've come back as a very popular alternative form of aviation for recreational pilots. Now, this one here is a highly detailed rendition of the FA Tensor 600X as it took flight for its maiden flight earlier this year. It makes use of the advanced robust autogyro simulation within X-Plane. Includes a highly detailed flight model for the autogyro tested by professional autogyro pilots. It says full support for virtual reality processing as well. Built-in G1000 avionics as default, including a multi-layer F-mod sound pack, detailed 3D pilot and passenger visualization to increase your VR immersion as well. As I said, there's not a lot to this aircraft. It's an enclosed cockpit, sort of two-seat autogyro. So it's a very stylish looking thing, very futuristic, very cool looking, and it's not a bad price as well. So it's kind of cool, kind of awesome, coming to a GA airstrip near you. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up for your X-Plane 11 experience, you can pick this one up for $25 or your regional equivalent, available now. In another aircraft release for the X-Plane 11 world, developer Ollie X-Sim came out with their latest release this week by releasing their rendition of a Lockheed L-18 Lodestar. So the Lodestar was a transportation, sort of air transport passenger variant of the Hudson. That was a very famous sort of light bomber and anti-submarine patrol aircraft during the Second World War. And this was produced as to fulfill a US Army Air Corps requirement for a personnel transporter. And would go on to serve, many of them sort of once the end of the Second World War, they would serve on to civilian services around the world and would go on to be because they were known for their inherent stability and their ease of flying. Though interestingly enough, one of them is still involved in the most serious air crash in regular passenger service air crash in Australia. So in Queensland. So yeah, that's an interesting, not so nice piece of history for that aircraft. But version gives us a couple of different versions of it. Includes a highly detailed 3D model. In two different versions, it provides both a civilian variant and a military variant. Each variant is supplied with an original, authentic sort of 1940s era cockpit, and then also an alternative one with modern glass avionics using the default X-Plane modern avionics. Now, as I said, it comes out with a variety of liveries, including various historical operators, including the military ones in both US military and Royal Air Force, and civilian in a variety of airlines around the world that operated them, including the Australian Trans-Australia Airlines rendition as well, which that's kind of nice to see the Australia being represented there. This aircraft features animated pilots with daytime-dependent sunglasses. Nice little mod there. It includes full support for visual ice and rain effects, and also affecting on the visuals of the aircraft. Though it doesn't say whether the ice affects the flight dynamics or not. Includes a fully functional, accurate 3D cockpit, including all aircraft systems modeled and accurate as well. You can pick this one up from xplane.org, coming in at $25 or your original equivalent, available now. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases, and the team at JustSim ported over their rendition of Hannover Airport into the X-Plane 11 world from releasing it a few weeks ago into Prepared. So this airport, as I said, it's a port over, so not really going to do much to that one. A fully detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in the end of 2019, start of 2020, including detailed airport objects and vehicles, custom taxiways, custom textures applied to all taxiways, runways, and the apron, coming in for about $22 or your original equivalent, available from your favorite flight sim retailer. Continuing on with more scenery releases, Chidoba Designs saw a couple of releases this week, though I think one of these might actually be a re-release, I think. The first off, we saw the release of HURGHADA International Airport, one servicing the Red Sea Resorts. Originally just a small fishing village, but now with the the tourism industry kind of took a bit of a hit lately. But previously, it was a very popular tourist destination for people from all around the world visiting the area. And this includes the rendition of the airport as it appears at the end of 2019, including the old domestic terminal as well as the new international and domestic terminal with fully functional jetways. All textures on all major buildings have been done with 4K resolution and full support for PBR, as well as a slew of custom buildings and custom airport objects and clutter objects and vegetation have been included for the airport and surrounding area, fully optimized and fully implemented with the use of SAM jetways and a visual guidance docking system and support for marshalers in the library as well. So this one's coming in at $22 or your original equivalent, available now from explain.org. And another release this week, also from Chidoba Designs, supporting for a Egyptian airport, again circulating, servicing the Red Sea Resorts, was the release this week of Taba International Airport. So this airport's located on the Sinai Plateau, at an elevation of 2,500 feet. So if you want to come in there with some turboprops, it could be a bit fun. Now again, this airport is done as it appears at the end of 2019 with full support for 4K and PBR texturing throughout, with custom buildings and other objects have been fully accurately modelled and laid out. Custom terrain mesh for the airport and the surrounding area has also been included to give you that real to life and that plateau experience. This one's coming in at about $12 or your regional equivalent, available now from explain.org. In another scenery release for the Explain 11 world, saw this release of the next in the Dolomites series of sceneries, with the release of the Western Dolomites of Gardena from Frank Denisi developers. So this is the fourth in a series of 5 sceneries that he's been producing to cover the Dolomites mountain range. Now this one includes 2 small airports as well as full representation of all 53 peaks around the area as well. So that's a lot of scenery's gone there with custom photo reel and all of it. About 1,200 square kilometers of mountain scenery have been included here, with all valleys and peaks all lovingly handcrafted and modeled. Over 30,000 buildings have been positioned and repositioned inside of the valleys and the mountaintops as well. That's just insane, it really is. Custom vegetation maps have been included, a variety of polygon sections to produce photoreal terrain have been included, and including as part of some of the points of interest that have been included there as well. Includes the main lift plants of all the ski resorts as well. Like, there's a lot going on here. Now, in terms of us, as well as enjoying that beautiful scenery, as I said, there are 2 airports included. So for those who are wanting a bit of thrill of landing with some STOL aircraft, but there are also 14 heliports placed throughout the area as well. So there's plenty in there for our vertical and takeoff and landing brethren as part of our simming community. Now, if you want to add this part of the scenery to your growing collection, you can pick this one up for $25 or your original equivalent, available now from explain.org. Continuing on with Explain 11 releases, and this time for a bit of a texture enhancement pack. Saw the release this week of Airport Layout Enhancement Solution Version 2. So this previously, funnily enough, replaces version 1, funnily enough, and is basically like a Explain equivalent to what Rex Texture Direct would do for the ESP platforms, where it provides updated 2K and 4K resolution options and custom ground poly for a variety of common scenery libraries used in Explain 11, including sort of various different runway textures, taxiway textures, taxiway lines, runway markings like the piano keys and stuff like that. All have been done in, as I said, 2 and 4K texturing. They've also been done, the actual surface bump mapping's been redone with custom laser scan surfaces as well. Like, there's a lot of detail goes into this, it really does. It also has a variety of custom helipads that you can deploy based on your region of preference as well. Variety of all draped signs featured in the sim are replaced. The rain effect polygon surfaces have all been updated as well. Well, actually not just updated, they've been implemented because the default runways do not normally support that in X-Plane 11. As I said, there's a whole slew of improvements to all the different major, like all the custom surfaces, and also adding rain effect support for those as well. Also, all are compatible with Vulkan as well as OpenGL formats as well. Now, as I said, this is an update, so this is a version 2. So if you are a new user to this, you'll be looking about paying about $21 US. If you're an existing user of V1, there's an upgrade price of only $5 to be able to upgrade this one in the Explain.org store. So a pretty good deal for overhauling all of the packs, all of the texture packs, including a whole slew of new content as well. It's not bad. And that pack is available. That enhancement pack is available now from Explain.org. Moving out of the X-Plane 11 world, moving into the world of the ESP platforms, or actually, I'll be honest, it's only prepared V4 and above this week. So firstly, we saw the release this week from Pilot Plus of their rendition of Wycombe Air Park. Now, this is a small GA field sort of at the edge of London, and is very much home to a couple of flight schools and a very busy general aviation community. Now this, I'm not going to go too much into this one because this air park is actually it's just a port over. So Pilot Plus had previously released this one for X-Plane 11, and this is just a straight port over of this one, but making it compliant with the ESP platforms. But it does support full PBR texturing throughout, as well as custom photo reel, including variations between 5 to 12.5 centimeter per pixel ortho imagery throughout. Designed to blend seamlessly with Orbix True Earth or with seasonal Orbix products as well as maintaining not just all of the airport buildings and capturing the essence of life at this airport, at this air park, but also includes a large number of local VFR landmarks. So you can actually get the actual feeling of flying a circuit at this airport. So that's kind of cool. So this one, you can pick this one up for $22 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. In a late-breaking release, just as we were about to go to air for this one, we saw the release this week from developer IronSim with their recently hinted at the newest Greek airport of Kalymnos Island National Airport. So this one is a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2020, but not only does it include the rendition of Kalymnos National Airport, it also includes custom terrain mesh and custom objects for the entire island as well. So the island has been covered in a custom photo reel with a custom terrain mesh. Includes for the airport itself though, includes full 4K texture support throughout, as well as full PBR texture support, both on buildings and also on the ground polys as well. Custom photo reel with modified terrain mesh, including full support for SODE content, including SODE windsocks, full dynamic light and HDR lighting support throughout as well. Custom points of interest have been modeled throughout the island as well, giving us quite a neat little package for this one. And this one is available for coming in at $15 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Moving out of the ESP world and moving into the world of a sim of a different breed, with War Thunder saw another couple of their starter pack series get released on Steam this week. This week we saw one which I thought we'd seen before. Maybe they're just adding a new one, or whether they've rebooted the old one, I'm not sure. But this is the British starter pack. So the British starter pack includes a tank and an aircraft. So it includes the Crusader 2 The Saint, which is a rank 2 premium tier tank, based off as a development from the earlier Mark 1, where they realized there was not enough armor on the front of the tank. Version of the Mark II of the Crusader added additional armor at the front and the sides of the tank, as well as updating the engine, allowing it to reach a speed of 42 kilometers an hour, as well as having a 2-pounder cannon and two Beza machine guns mounted as well. In the aviation space, there was a release of the Supermarine Spitfire Mark II-A, was the premium aircraft released as part of this pack, and is a rendition for actually a Royal Canadian Air Force rendition of this one with 8 fully upgraded 7.7mm Browning machine guns included for this one. Now, along with the vehicles, you also get 120,000 Silver Lions and a premium account for 7 days. In the other starter pack, which again, I thought we've seen one of these before, but maybe they're rebooting them or just adding a new one, I'm not sure. So this is the Japanese starter pack. Again, this time we're seeing a tank and an aircraft included. So first time we saw the the Chai-He tank, medium tank, which has come through with advanced weaponry with a 47mm Type 1 cannon with 120 rounds of ammunition, as well as a 7.7mm hull-mounted machine gun and one turret-mounted machine gun, and a powerful diesel engine propelling it to 44 kilometers an hour. And in the aviation space, we have I was a bit surprised at this one. It was a Ki-44 Shockey fighter, which is one I'm not really familiar with, but it turns out it was an early 1940s design. Sort of coming out of the pre-war period, and it's actually a rank 1 rather than a rank 2 aircraft, which is a bit interesting. So probably actually considered more of a starter pack, this one. And this one is armed with two 12.7mm machine guns and two 7.7mm machine guns, fully rated as well. However, it was known to be fairly low powered, so I don't know how well it's going to go. Though apparently it did serve in combat in Malaya in 1942. So there you go. Again, just like the British pack, comes with 120,000 silver lions and premium account for 7 days. Each of these packs are coming in at $10 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving on to simulation of a different kind with the release this week of the latest piece of DLC for Assetto Corsa Competizione, the GT4 Pack. Now, this new pack adds in initially I thought it wasn't a great deal, but it actually looks like it actually adds in a fair bit. So this adds in 11 new aircraft, 11 new cars as part of the official GT4 European series. Now, this is actually really interesting because this is in some ways very reminiscent of the stock racing car series that we sort of see in America and Australia, where these vehicles are essentially road legal vehicles that have been sort of only slightly modified for track racing. And in real life, they serve often as a stepping stone for drivers moving up into more professional race types. So adding this in actually adds in, not just adds in the vehicles, it actually adds in the GT4 vehicle category into the game, which is really kind of cool as well. So as I said, it adds in 11 cars from manufacturers including Aston Martin, Audi, BMW, Chevrolet, Maserati, McLaren and Mercedes are all included amongst others here. It also adds in, as I said, the GT4 Season Championship mode is added in as well as full multiplayer support for this with a variety of vehicles as well. So it's really interesting, really kind of cool. As I said, the GT3 was already in there, GT4 is the next step up and is now modeled as well. So there's a lot going on this one. This one touts fully accurate driving physics for all of the modeled vehicles as well. So I haven't driven it. I haven't driven this game, but there's always one that comes up as a popular one for driving simulations. So if you're into that, you probably are. You can pick this one up. So available now on Steam for $20 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the simulation release news for this week with... I had to do a double take to make sure I hadn't already covered this one. So this is Warehouse Simulator. Manage your own warehouse and take care of receiving and sending orders. I think they named it wrong. I think it needs to be renamed. I think it needs to be named Forklift Simulator. But apparently, according to the 10-line description of this game, which is all the marketing material I could find for it, is that you manage your own warehouse, improve your own warehouse so you can receive more orders and earn more money. Learn to drive realistic forklift and do different tasks with it. Do missions transporting different goods with your truck. So it looks like you get a couple of different vehicles included as well. It looks like you got like a refrigerator, a cube truck, you've got a pickup truck, and you've got a forklift. But most of it seems to be doing stuff with your forklift. I don't know. Anyway, if you pick this one up, it looks like a fairly basic Unity game. $10 if you want to give it a hand. Otherwise, I'd probably suggest look at the one that Aerosoft did. That probably looks better. Anyway, moving on. If you want to pick this one up, available now on Steam. And with that now rounds out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And if you would like to support the channel and the work that we do here, please consider joining us over at patreon.com/NovaWing24 to keep me on air and bringing the news to you guys as you desire to see it. Otherwise, folks, you can catch up with me, but on all things between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24 or catching me a couple of times a week over on Twitch for our live streams. In the meantime, though, folks, thanks very much for joining us. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.